Good on ya, everyone. Happy Sacred Soul Sunday. We're in for a surprise today. We're in for a surprise in this incoming life force. Incoming life force. Feel the force, Lori. Feel the force, Marty. Feel the force, Cami. Lisa and Jim, feel the force. Let's just be feeling to the point where an emotion turns to devotion. It's a magic potion. Is this idea that we can change emotion to devotion. We can change, you know, a simple little thing such as a mindset that we have about anything. We can change it anytime we want. And that change, this prayer sums it up what I want to share with you right from the get-go, my dears. It says that, first of all, it says, decide what kind of life you already want, you actually want. Decide which life, what kind of life you actually want, and say no to everything that isn't that. So if your goal is to be happy all the time, so be it. Let go of everything else. If your goal is to always be calm on the inside of you, then so be it. That is so. It is so. Aho, right? And if you decide that, your struggles and trials and moody days and not feeling so good physically, things like that, are going to turn into times that you really lean on the truth of you. You really hug that cosmic mother that is your form. She is your body. She is your mind. That most beautiful mother of the universe. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that how many years you've been in this body, this particular one? Can you imagine, though, that you have had many bodies? Ricardo, welcome, my friend. Yeah.
Good morning.
Can you imagine how many lifetimes you've had and how many times that you've taken yourself so darn seriously that you just kind of gave up? Yeah. So this is what we can do now. This is what we can do. The deepest level of worship. You want to know what it is? The deepest level of worship. Well, first of all, the greatest worship is to worship the divinity that you are inside yourself. That's the greatest, one of the greatest forms of uh, worship. But this is another angle on it. The angle I want to focus on this morning. That the deepest level of worship is praising God through the pain. That's number one. That the deepest level of worship is praising God through the pain. There's a little list here. All right. So next time pain visits you, the next time Divine Mother visits you as pain, praise her. Praise her. Thank you. Just say yes. Yes is such a powerful word. Just say yes. I know it's you, Divine Mother. And as we said as young monks, we said, thank you, Mother. I don't know why I have to go through this, but you do, and that's good enough for me. It's a pretty good prayer. I don't know why I have to go through this. Let's say it's pain, but you do, and that's good enough for me. So that's the first of the deepest level of worship is to praise God, Divine Mother, Source, your immortal soul through the pain. Number two is thanking God through the trials. It's a pretty good list coming up here. Praising God through the pain, and number two is thanking God through the trials. We're going to cover just a few things this morning, and it's going to cover everything that are the things that make life really difficult for ourselves. And we're going to take care of it this morning through amazing grace. right? Through amazing grace, we're going to take care of it this morning. But just imagine, in a trial may be as something as simple as, a little detail, a little mundane detail of your life could be a trial. So we're talking across the board, thank you, Mother. I don't know why I have to go through this, but you do, and that's good enough for me. All right. So that's another deep level of worship. And then, of course, we have this beautiful thing called trust. Trusting the divine, trusting him or her, however you see the divine, feel the divine, trusting them when you're tempted to lose hope. Mm, when you just say to yourself, I'm done, I'm done. I just need to go take a long, long nap. I just need to have a breath of fresh air, right? Things like that. When you're at your lowest ebb, that what we do, we turn to loving him even when we're tempted to lose hope, and loving God even when it seems that he's not with us. I mean, if we really had the trust and faith, my dears, God is always with you, right? Always with you. There's a little prayer that you can remember that might help you around this. Number one of this, before we complete our list of deepest levels of worship, is these ways that we can remember that God is with us always. My Lord, I will be thine always. My Lord, this is a chant from Yogananda. I will be thine always. I may go far, farther than the stars. I may go far, farther than the stars, but I will be thine always. Just as you are with me, I am with you. Some people pray, Lord, be with me, but he's always with you. All right. So maybe we ask him, her, it, that we be with it, that we be with the beloved. So God is always with me. God always has a wonderful plan for me. This is why we're saying, hand over the keys of the car of your life. Hire Divine Mother as a designated driver, right? Because she knows. None else knows. We don't know. We make a living out of not knowing, my dears. We make a divine living out of not knowing. God offers me peace is another forever. God offers me peace. He's always offering. He is an offering. The offering that comes in is called amazing grace, is another way to look at it. God carries my worries. God carries my worries. So that really goes along to these deepest levels of worship. You praise God when you're in pain. You thank him or her when you have trials. You trust him or her when tempted to lose hope. And you love him or her even when she seems so distant. So that's at our deepest level. But what about our lowest level of living, my dears? What is our lowest level of living? What do we do when we're really at a low, at a low, at a low? And that is simpler. So at my lowest, God is my hope. God is my hope. Heart open, please enter. God is my hope. HOPE, heart open, please enter. At my darkest hours, God is my light. He's my heart. So these are our lowest levels, right? that He is my hope when I'm really, down and out in Beverly Hills, so to speak. He is my hope. At my darkest, God is my light. Wow. At my weakest, God is my strength. So anything and everything that's still bugging you about human life, I guess is what we're sharing this morning, is that the answer is turn to source. The answer is turn to that faith and trust that you have in you. I have a little reading coming up that will emphasize this, right? The answer is always just one answer. There's just a big yes to say to the universe, you know, because it's offering us everything that we need, every single moment, every single breath, every single detail of our day. God is there helping us out in all these ways that we think that we are alone, that we are alone, that we're doing this once again alone and we got to figure it out on our own. But when we are at our weakest, God is giving us strength. That's why we can't ever come up with a rationalization or some reasoning that this particular trial we're going through, this particular pain we're going through, this particular loss in our life that we're going through is just too much. In fact, when it does get too much, that's when you know that that's where you grow the fastest. This little soul flower of you, the greatest nurturing that you can give this soul flower of you, my dears, is this, ability to turn to the light, turn to the source, turn in, turn yourself in to the highest best of you, right? And so when you're at your worst, that's the time. That's the time that we grow the most. That's the time that we sprout, my dears. And this, we know that Ricardo told us the other day that he's going through a major makeover, a soul makeover of some kind, you know, completely starting over again with a new life. And yeah, this is a perfect stream for that. That no matter what happens in today's living, I'm going to live life today, right? Yeah, really living life is living with the divine, is living with the trust, is living with the divine mother at your side, you know, living with the best attitude that you can have. Yeah. So this is a little reminder, a little post that may apply to you in a big way. Good morning, Micah. Thank you for jumping on our Sacred Soul Sunday meditation. Just the fact that we are here means that we are emitting waves and waves and waves of light to each other. This is our tribe. I love how the indigenous, when somebody kind of messes up and they come before the tribe, they meet in the tent or whatever. You know what they do? Everyone finds something wonderful to say to that person. Wonderful. Never do they focus on the downside if someone made a mistake. They just bring out the best qualities in them. So, in some ways, us sitting here right now, showing up this morning, as I always mention, is bringing the best out of you and the best out of each other. How's that? And you can trust that. You can trust that as you go about your day, right? That's why I kind of mentioned the little diary idea, because you may forget that yesterday there were so many windows of opportunity yesterday, or so many blessings, so many offerings from the divine pouring into you yesterday. Do you remember any? Right? So it don't matter. We're here now. And so this may this may feel right for you this morning. When you're going through something, and we are going through something. To be in a physical body, you are going through not just something, you're going through everything, right? It says, I didn't disappear. I didn't disappear. You know, sometimes we just want to disappear. This says, I didn't disappear. I just softened my grip. I just softened my grip on the world. I just softened it long enough to hear myself again, to hear what my needs are, to hear what I personally, intimately, need today. And ideally, you want to get the only place to find your needs, your greatest need is this connection to your higher self, to what we've been mentioning, that we turn to the light side every time there's a dark side, every time there's a hesitation in you. And you're going back into your rationalization, you're going back into your thinking, you're going to go back to your kind of mood. But now you've softened your grip on the world long enough so that you hear your needs, you hear them, you feel them, you respond to them, your needs, right on, right on, right where you are. You respond to them. You hear yourself again. And this person goes on to say, there was a season where I stopped reaching. I stopped explaining. So there was a season that came where I stopped reaching. I stopped explaining. I stopped trying to be legible, legible to everyone around me. In other words, I stepped back. I stepped back. What is it that I want? What kind of life do I really want? What kind of day do I really want? What kind of feelings do I want to experience right now? Right? You stopped trying to be legible to everyone around yourself. You stepped back, not because you were lost, not because you were depressed, but because you were tired. You were tired of being shaped by rooms and situations and people that you had already outgrown. You've outgrown your teenage years, my dears. You've outgrown your young adulthood days, my dears, for the most part. You've outgrown that little self of yours that has haunted you down the aeons of time. So this person says, I went inward. I went inward. Say that to yourself a few times right now if that feels right for you. I go inward. What do I do next? I'm a little perplexed. I go inward. Where can I get a little breath of fresh air? I go inward. Where can I get a feeling that really fills me with contentment, that fills me with peace? I go within. And when I go inward, I go into the quiet. I go into the quiet, that quiet room, that special place where you can be quiet, where you can be still, where you can feel, really feel and address those needs, those needs, all your needs. And as you know, as you can guess, they're always fulfilled when your mind turns to the divine. Inwardly, inwardly, my dears. And you can think of it this way. You go into your cocoon. You go into your cocoon, Ricardo, Micah. You know that Micah that has all these struggles, and I'm talking to all of us right now. We all have outward struggles. We all have outward, kind of just hesitations. We all have outward, just kind of feelings that aren't so positive to us, and worries and fears and phobias. We all know that, right? But this is why we need a cocoon. We need a cocoon. We need that chamber of peace that we talked about, one of these streams, a place where nothing can get your goat, nothing can disrupt you from your focus, which is to stay connected. Stay with that divine friend who is you in drag. Yes, you. And fulfill everything that you think is needing some TLC, my dears, because amazing grace is what you are. It's already done it. It's already purified you. It's already put you in this position so that today can be a day like none other. It's already it's already gone ahead of you, and it's just waiting for you in the cocoon. This person said at first it felt like nothing was happening when I went into a cocoon, my own cocoon. No big breakthroughs, no dramatic rebirths, just here's what we can kind of anticipate when we go into our cocoon where the world can't touch you, where you have your divine life, where you live the higher life because you listen now and you take care of your needs. And everything that is a challenge becomes an opportunity. Everything becomes a growth spurt, an awakening spurt, a new day spurt, a new you spurt. Everything, every situation becomes that. But it won't be too dramatic, these breakthroughs. It's just going to feel slow initially, almost imperceptible return to your own breath. Just a return to your own breathing, right? We know how unbelievable that is. If you're aware of breath, your mind becomes your servant, as we've said. When you are aware of your breathing, it's almost like a TikTok where it just reminds you over and over again it's time to address my needs, my pain, my disabilities with the way that we're describing today. You call on that divine helper. So I slowly and almost imperceptibly, I return to my own breath, my own rhythms, my own truth. Wow, returning to self. Returning to self. Could today be a day of returning to self, my dears? In this first day of February, we got this Leo full moon. We have all the goodwill from our tribe friends that see only the bright side of us. I think we have a pretty spectacular possibility today. I really do. Because you know what? We're going to start listening. We're going to start listening differently. Again, to our needs, to our pains, to our fears, to our worries, right? And listen to that beautiful wisdom you have that really guides you to the right choices. And you know it, you feel it, you trust it, you more than believe it. You know it's true. So we start listening differently, not to the noise of what I should want, not to the noise of what I should want, the shoulds, but to the subtle pull. This is a green light. This is where the light turns green and amazing grace comes into the picture and your awareness. I don't listen to the noise of what I should, as I keep shoulding myself, right? Should want, but to the subtle pull of what feels like home inside my body, right? That secret chamber, that cocoon, that place, your happy place, your joy place, where nothing can change your mind or your heart when you make divine choices, when you turn to the divine, when you completely, you know, go to that stage of collapsing, collapsing the little false you, and then allowing the amazing grace to come through until you feel like home inside your body. This person goes on to say, I noticed how my yes, I finally noticed how my yes, when I said yes, when I didn't run from a situation, didn't run from my feelings, didn't run from my pain. My yes, I could feel it in my chest. I could feel what that yes meant. Yes. And I could feel how my no felt in my nervous system. I could intuit how peace doesn't come usually as fireworks, but as a steady, grounded presence I could finally stand on. That peace came, as we take these footsteps, as we do our own little march of peace, our march of soul connection with spirit, and our march of returning inside to settle in our cocoon. And somewhere in the middle of that stillness, as we enter our cocoon, I realized I'm not becoming someone else. I'm not becoming my friend. I'm not becoming my wife. I'm not becoming my husband. I'm not becoming the great master. I'm becoming I'm not becoming someone else. I'm unbecoming everything I learned to be to survive. I'm unbecoming that. And I'm becoming someone who I adore. I adore myself. And this person says that version of me is quieter. This type of version of me is quieter, the one we're describing right now. It's clearer. It's less interested in proving myself. And it's more devoted to being. This person goes on to say, I'm growing in ways no one can clap for. No one's going to be clapping for you, my dears. I think you all know that by now, except the holy ones. And maybe that inside of you in that cocoon, you're so contented and happy and feel free. No more noise and things like that, where you are addressing every little need, every little pain, every little trial, everything. Nothing stands in your way. You're growing in ways that no one can clap for. You're shifting in directions that don't need an audience. And for the first time, I don't measure my life by how much I hold together. You know, like Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, trying to put all the pieces back together again. I don't measure my life anymore by how much I hold myself together, but by how honestly I hold myself, how honestly I see myself, how honestly I take care of myself, how amazingly amazing grace is when it helps, when I am ready and have the right attitude. And finally, this person says, if you're in your own cocoon right now, which I do believe Ricardo and Micah and Lisa and Cami and Marty that's on this line right now, that you kind of maybe took on this possibility of having your own cocoon where nothing is like that chamber of peace, where nothing in this world can ever touch that serenity, that quiet, that peace, that honesty. So if you're in your own cocoon right now, trust this. Not all growth makes noise. Some of the most powerful transformations happen in the dark, where only your soul is watching. Wow. So if your eyes are closed right now, how comfortable can you get with eyes closed right now? How close can you get to this you of you, this divinity of you in the dark or in the light or in traffic or being alone? But you know now and have the possibility to witness and watch, because your soul is always watching you. It's like your guardian angel itself. So you can become that. You can become that watcher. You can, obviously, need not be said, but I'll say it, that you become your soul. You become who you truly are. So we thank you, O Spirit, for your insights this morning, for your company, your divine company this morning. We thank you for, bringing us a little more, ability to listen, to listen, to address our needs, to trust that every breath you take is done through love, is done through love. And the choice that you come up with whatever, know that the divine gave you that green light for that choice. So there's no more doubting yourself. There's just this new, another angle, let's say, another angle where we all join together and experience something magnificent together in our own little way, And yet at the same time, it's connecting us, it's uniting us as a united family. Just a little mini example of the possibility of people coming together that never met each other physically, and they come together and they bring their highest self to the table every single time. So we have that. So you all want to rub your hands, those who are remaining on the line. I guess I went over a little bit, but it is our Sacred Soul Sunday. So let's rub our palms together, my dears, if you're in the mood for it. If you're still here, inhale the breath. Let's chant an Om. Om. Let's do another one just for good measure. Huh? Let's just fill our cocoon with all the necessities that you even in your own even human way need. So you have everything available in that cocoon for you to be happy as a clam at high tide today. Let's do an Om to seal that deal. Om. So I'm so happy that we could share the unshareable today, my dears. Those hidden things, all those sacred hidden things that we can share together open-heartedly and abundantly. All right. So we have our God glasses on that we can see into ourselves today, which is into me, I see, or intimacy with me. So thank you for all this love that you bring to our world. And then all this caring that you bring into your daily life, my dears. It's felt. It's felt. And one day you will know how much it has been felt. And you will know how many souls have been just magnetized into your little sphere of a unified life, a divine life in a human body. OMG. Welcome to the new day. Welcome to the new age. To the new age, my dears. Welcome. All right. So we care and we share. Where's Lynn Adams today when we need her the most? Ricardo, thank you, my man. And Micah, thank you so much for staying on the line. Lisa and Jim, as always. Troops, loyal troops, soldiers, and goddess warriors. We are. Thank you so much. I know, right? I know. All right. Love you all. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Happy Sunday, my dears. Aho and namaste.